A universal truth that only a few ancient minds in Toril have begun to grasp is that time is cyclical. This is not to say that at the end of the multiverse, everything will begin again anew and play out the same as before. Rather, events of great significance leave a large mark upon destiny and are thus compelled to repeat themselves. Three adventurers brought together seemingly at random find themselves marching toward the site of one such event and the opportunity to build their own legacy. Hi, I'm Cuck Umber.
We're recording now.
Okay. Hello! Welcome to the Windshire Legacy episode 7?
Yeah.
7! It's 7! Alright, what's up, gamers? Let's get this bread. Windshire Legacy episode 7! I'm Logan Christensen, and I'm a level 12 creature from the abyss.
Oh, that was good.
I hear a dog barking.
That was a nuts noise that you just made.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
I'm Sarah Christensen, and I'm a level 22 vaccinating mom, and my animal companion is my healthy living son.
You just call our kid an animal?
My animal companion. It's called a joke!
It's the companion to your animal.
You ain't wrong. Where you at, Duncan?
Duncan,
I like your nail polish.
Oh, thank you.
It's cute.
Thank you. Shannon, it's your turn.
I'm Shannon, and I'm a level 5,000 new dice set! Thanks, Logan and Sarah.
Yeah, girl, we love you.
Aww.
Wow. Feeling that love. I'm Mason Brinkerhoff, and I'm a level 6 penguin guy. I don't know.
What? Oh, my little bird?
Yeah, I was trying to get inspiration because...
It's not a penguin.
He's a sparrow.
He's a sparrow.
Is he?
His name is Scout.
Yeah, he's Scout the Sparrow.
You know, you've told me that multiple times, but I still just see a penguin when I look at him.
Hey, let's make the still image for this episode Scout.
I'll just make him pop up.
That's what we're talking about right now.
Remember how I talked about naming a kid Dove?
Yeah.
What if I did Sparrow Dove Taylor?
Why does the kid have your last name?
Because I'm a husband! Hence the depression!
Anywho.
No one on Facebook listen to this.
Shut up! Shut up!
We're trying to play D&D!
I think this is playing D.
You're right. Time to eat some dice. ASMR.
Oh my god.
These are not fun shapes on the audio.
It's gonna be the best episode yet.
I think so. When 3/4 of your cast is depressed as shit. You're trying to make an episode anyway.
Alright, when last we met, you all killed a dragon.
We did.
Real good. It
Yeah.
was a really big dragon. I'm proud
She
of
was
you guys.
Yeah, she was an adult dragon too, which is like, you said challenge level 13?
Yeah.
That's insane.
We're level 5,
Yeah,
6.
we did that.
Did
Wait,
we
did
finish
you guys
leveling
level
up?
Wait,
We leveled up.
yes.
After you killed
Yeah.
the dragon, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
just didn't write level 6 at the top of
Level
the
up.
character sheet. Oh.
I have new sorcerer abilities.
I have new
I have
dungeon
more
master
health.
abilities.
You made that joke last time.
Oh, I did!
Yes!
Shit!
You just said you got 3 more monsters and here they come.
Good joke, past
I have
me.
new
Yeah,
That
dice.
was good.
Shannon has pretty new dice that look like ice.
And
Alright.
they're blue.
Are you Elsa?
No.
Oh no!
That is just a rectangle.
The audio does not look happy.
We have to leave this all in since we're pushed for time this episode because I didn't write anything.
No, I am going to leave this in. Don't
Good,
worry.
good, good. Okay, so you killed that dragon. For the third time I've said that now. And took a quick rest in the fort on the mountain, and then headed down the rickety old lift, and are now looking at I actually have the name of the valley in front of me. Isn't Snowdrift Valley.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like it's from Mario, and that makes me happy.
That was
a bird.
yeah. It doesn't sound more like Mario.
It's me!
Okay.
We're doing great.
Anywho, as you're leaving, the old Mayor Brondor and his friends tell you that the town is under martial law right now, and you probably won't be able to get in. But he gives you this shiny necklace. It's a silver necklace with a locket on it, and tells you to give that to the gate guard.
This is not like the orc necklace of friendship.
Different necklace.
Okay. Dread, do you want this necklace?
I'm gonna take a necklace.
Alright.
Shiny necklace.
Alright, and does anyone want to do anything during like the 3-ish hour walk to Frostford?
Let's play hopscotch.
Alright, role play it.
Hopscotch, hopscotch. I jump on 2 feet, I jump on 1 foot, I jump on 2 feet, I jump on 1 foot, I jump on 2 feet. I don't know how to play hopscotch.
I think he just won. So it was fine.
Atrix just
Yay!
stares at you as she like walks past on both feet.
Roll to
calmly.
hopscotch. Squatch, damn it.
Dude, hopsquatch.
Hopsquatch.
That's like the Easter Bunny version of Sasquatch.
Oh, I was gonna say the drunk version, but yeah, cause hops. Yeah.
Alcohol.
Alright. Anyone else want to do anything other than playing hopscotch? Which sounds like a waste of time, no offense, Shannon.
I don't know what's on the way.
It's just
snow.
an empty valley. You're on a road.
You want to play I Spy?
I spy something white. It's the snow.
Damn it,
It's
that's what I
always
was
the
gonna
fucking
say.
snow.
Yelpmar says, I spy your mom!
Please don't unsubscribe.
My mother's dead, Hilfmar.
Oof.
Big oof. I like that this has a tutorial on the back of it.
Right? We're talking about the new game fuel, by the way. It's good as hell. Yeah, dude. Tutorial.
We're not sponsored though.
Yeah. Go buy Game Fuel, but we're not telling you to buy Game Fuel because we're sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Go buy Beep, but we're not sponsored by Beep.
Yeah.
We're not sponsored by Mountain Dew, but Game Fuel is delicious, so I recommend it. Personally.
I like cream soda.
Thank you.
Tastes like vanilla.
We're 8 minutes in, and like 3 minutes of this is listenable content.
I think this is all heavily listenable. Alright. So you eventually get to the front gate and are greeted by 2 guards wielding pikes and like simple leather armor. One of them is tall and strong and intimidating looking. The other one is short, skinny, and looks like he would drop if he saw his own shadow. The first one says, "Hold there, travelers. What's your business?"
We're going to the fort.
No can do. Mayor's orders. We're under martial law until further notice.
Dread, show them the thing.
Who is Marshall and what do I have to do to him?
Oh no. Ew. Eli.
I meant threatening.
Oh. That was not clear.
Sorry.
I'm gonna hold up the necklace to him.
Alright. He sees it, looks back at his other guard, and like hides it in his hands. He says, "What you going to want to do?" He looks over to make sure the other guy's not listening. "Wait until dark. Give this necklace to the fisherman that comes to pick you up. He'll take you to the temple where Father Simon waits. He'll know what to do from there." He says, "Sorry, can't let anyone in. That's final. You're gonna have to wait outside until further notice."
It's like The Hobbit.
Alright. I guess we set up camp, because what else are we gonna do?
Can we make an igloo?
You know, Shannon, roll
Roll for igloo.
Athletics to dig an igloo.
Roll for igloo.
Ice cave.
Ice cave,
Oh
ice cave.
no,
9.
Shannon.
All right. Well, it's going pretty well for a while, and then you decide you need to stress test it, so you jump on the roof and cave the entire thing in.
Can I build another igloo?
Yeah, you got like 4 hours until you're supposed to meet this guy now, because it takes a while to dig, but you can try in that time to dig another one.
Nice. What's 16 plus 7?
A lot. Alright, this one's immaculate. You've got like separate rooms down there, different spots to sleep and stuff, and you guys like aren't even sure you want to get on this fishing boat because you're so cozy in your
It's
snow
like that
cave.
hotel in Sweden.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm just reading one of my books.
Which book is it?
So I have 2 books, and I think one of them is, it's more or less just information that I managed, like, it's one of the books that I had in my town, which would have been about the Shadowfell, and it's stuff that I kind of already have read over, but it's just what I have with me.
And the second book
And
is the novelization of the hit children's movie Hotel for Dogs.
no, it's a steamy romance novel, actually, is what it is.
Hotel for Dogs. Excuse me.
Ew!
Well, it's the porn parody version, Hotel for Dongs.
I don't like the implication that there might still be dogs there, though.
It was written by furries.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
The furry porn parody no one asked for. It's now nighttime, and a small fishing boat. I mean, it's like pretty decent size. It's not like a rowboat or anything. It's like a skiff.
Where is this coming from, by the way?
There's a harbor in the town.
Oh, okay.
It kind of just circles out of the town. You see like 2 lamps on board, and other than that, it's dark, and it...
I thought we were in the middle of a valley, so I was like, is he just, like, walking his boat?
No,
Tugging his
I
boat
forgot
along.
to make that clear. There is a large coast on your
toboggan.
west side.
Okay.
Like, pretty much the entire west side of this valley is coastal.
Oh,
From the mountains you just crossed all the way to north of this town that you're going into.
wow. Okay.
So this fishing boat pulls up along the shore to the west side of the gate, and a large blue-skinned orc man with silver flowing hair sits aboard and signals for you to come here. Dread, you recognize him as the former bosun of the Raven's Flight.
Oh, we're buddies.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
well,
remember
maybe.
that
There
he
was a
and-
mutiny.
There was.
He was one of your dad's best friends, and he, while he wasn't targeted by the mutiny, left voluntarily along with you guys.
We are buddies.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes. Okay. Let's go.
All right.
You don't even need that fancy necklace.
Don't. We also have that necklace from the orcs. I feel like we could all.
Yeah,
like...
between all 3 of those things, this guy is going to, like, fall in love with us immediately.
So the first thing he says is, "All right, put your lights out. We're gonna sail through the harbor, and we need complete darkness for it." Dread Harbor, is that you?
Yes.
Come here, my boy! And he gestures for a big hug.
Big
Aw.
The
Big hug.
DM and Mason Brinkerhoff are hugging.
I have to call HR on that one.
Who's HR?
I'm HR.
Oh, alright. He says, "Well, I certainly didn't expect it to be you I was picking up. I expected more farmers or something."
What are you doing out here?
Well, you see that, and at this point, his crew is just quietly rowing through the harbor. The sails are completely furled up so as not to make any noise. And he points towards the docks, and there are just what look like shadows that aren't attached to anything, floating aimlessly along the docks, like back and forth. He says, "Those are all over the valley right now, and what we're doing is getting anyone who needs refuge to the temple, where it's safe."
Am I able to identify what those are?
You can recognize that they are shadow creatures of some sort.
Mm-hmm. I don't know necessarily what they are.
Not 100%, but
yeah.
you can tell their origin is shadowy.
Mm-hmm.
He says, hold on. And he holds up a hand like this and whispers, "Nobody move." One of the shadow figures seems to turn towards the ship it blinks out of existence and then reforms itself on the deck.
Yeah.
It begins floating around between the ship's crew, the captain, and you three. I'm going to need everyone to roll a Constitution save. Atrix will get advantage because you are familiar with these types of creatures.
20. Not a natural 20, but a 20.
4.
18.
Okay, so as the creature is turning to look back towards the wharf, Dread, you actually stumble a little bit and kick a plank, which makes a loud cracking sound. The creature whirls around towards you and teleports right into your face, and you see it has the exact same skull mask on that the murderer at House Corporate wore.
Whoa!
It sits silently for a few seconds, and you're petrified with fear during these few seconds, and not moving at all, and then it vanishes again, back to the wharf.
It goes back to the wharf?
Back to the wharf.
Okay.
Vorondir closes his fist, and the rowers begin rowing the boat again. He says, "My, that was a close one. They get closer every night. One of these nights things are not going to go well."
Have they touched anyone yet?
I've heard stories of some farms out in the valley that have had run-ins with them. And if those that stay out late at night disappear, and we assume it's their doing.
Alright. But they just disappear, they don't, they're not found dead or anything.
They're not found at all, miss.
Right.
What are those things?
No clue. My money's on it having something to do with the mayor, though. He started sending people up to that keep, and then those things appeared.
They're shadow creatures from the Shadowfell. I'm not sure what they are, but they're entities from the shadow.
Well, you seem to know much more about it than I do.
Only minutely, apparently.
And the rest of your... It only takes like 10 minutes to get across the wharf. It's a small port. Is uneventful after that. The ship drifts slowly through the icy waters until eventually you find yourselves at a small dock separate from the rest of the wharf. The dock leads to a winding path which goes up a mountain with a large brightly lit stone building at the top. Father Simon will meet you at the temple, and he'll help you moving forward. 'Twas good to see you, Dread, and he claps you on your back. You know where to find me if you're in need of help.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
He's
Aye.
gonna die.
Oh.
Say that.
On the
The
dock...
first person he ever met from someone's backstory.
On the dock is a purple-skinned tiefling man with braided black hair. He holds a lantern in one hand and a large stave with a metal sun on top of it in the other. Wears simple yellow fur robes and a puffy hood.
Sorry, I just thought of a puffy coat.
It's like one of those ones with like fur on the edge that's all puffy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier and I was like, I don't want to change that because it seems kind of cute. I put a puffy hood. Says, "Follow me to the temple," in a quiet but powerful voice. You then follow him up a winding stone staircase toward a grand stone temple at the top with an even larger metal sun over the entrance. Once inside the building, you see roughly 20 villagers huddled around a series of stone hearths taking in the warmth. You see what look to be groups of families and friends huddled together around fireplaces. They all kind of look towards you in fear when the door opens, but then when they see Father Simon, they relax a little bit more and go back to what they were doing, which is just warming up by the hearth.
Can I roll a religion check?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's a 4.
Okay. You can tell it's some sort of sun deity.
Uh-huh. I turn to Simon and say, what house of worship is this?
Says, well, this is the Temple of Lathander. The only specific temple we have here. We have a small house of worship in town, but this temple's been here for millennia.
All right. And is it? And I assume is it blessed? I assume it's sacred ground.
Aye, miss, it is blessed. We are safe here, for now at least.
Nothing's gotten in, yes?
The closest they've got is the front gate, and they've turned away after that.
So, Nothing's gotten inside the town.
The town's kind of overrun, which is why all these people are up
Okay.
here in the temple.
Just checking.
We're about half a mile from town.
Yeah. Are there other refugees kept in the other temples?
This is the only one out of town. I don't know what's going on in town. I only learn what those who make it here know, and they are mostly farmers from the outlying settlements.
Alright, thank you. So as long as we are on blessed ground, we should be safe. Those from the Shadow Realm are vulnerable to holy magics. But I mean, there's only so far we can... That can only help us so much, I think, depending on what creatures these might actually be.
You've hit it right on the nose, lass. I've been beginning to wonder how long we'll be able to hold out. I feel the power in this place weakening with every passing day, and whatever's growing in that castle and the village seems to be getting stronger. Are you more refugees from the farms, or have you come to help?
Come to help.
Oh, good. Did Segdir send you?
Yes.
Is she alright?
Yes. Everyone's alright.
Good. I was worried about those folk, but... Yeah. Just, I was worried about those folk, but, they went off on that quest. It was kind of the only course of action.
Yes, unfortunately, one gentleman lost his legs, but other than that, everyone's fine.
Oh, was it Brondor or was it Arwick?
Brondor.
Oh, that's a shame. Nice young lad that he was. I mean, is, if he's still okay, but...
I assume he's alright. He just has no legs.
Still, quite a shame. Thank you for telling me this. Now, let me tell you the beginnings of the plan I have for what we need to do here. So, the current mayor, Mayor Erazine, Garen Erazine, he's been the mayor for about a month. And during that time, he's ousted the White Wolves, the adventuring company that you've become acquainted with, the Wyvern's blood siblings, Savroth, Bryn, and Arwick. First thing he did was stir up public favor against them and then kick them out of town. Then, once the fishermen went out on their monthly voyage and the miners went back to the tract, he locked the town up and set whatever those things are free from the keep.
Can I just say, what a douchebag.
He seemed like a nice fellow, but lately he's been doing a lot of mysterious stuff. He brought in some mercenaries, and I don't like the cut of them at all. There are 4 of them. A Goliath, a dwarf, a dark elf, and a human. You'll recognize them on sight, though. They dress very uniquely.
Like how?
They're all in black. I mean, he's the only dark elf in town, so you'll recognize him right away. The dwarf, he has some kind of strange presence about him that just looking at him makes you uncomfortable. And the Goliaths are also quite uncommon in the area, so they stick out. And the human, he's covered in tattoos. Never seen anyone quite like that.
What happened to the previous mayor?
Brondor, you met him.
Oh.
He got thrown out with the rest of his adventuring friends.
Was it electoral? Was he? So we were told that he was the former mayor. Was he ousted, or was he just his term served?
Well, so what happened is Erazine is a very wealthy man. He came into town about 6 months ago, bought majority shares in most of the businesses in town, and then began telling everyone that Brondor was not fit to be mayor, as he's hardly ever in town because he's always out adventuring. He was able to rile up enough public favor that they I guess impeached him and put Erazin in his place. And at that point he had, authority to do whatever he wants, so he brought in all of his own men and threw out the White Wolf Company. And now people have started disappearing. It's a huge mess.
And these shadows originate at the keep.
Aye, that's where they seem the most concentrated, and where they started spreading outwards from.
What do you know about the keep?
Well, I mean, our temple here happens to be quite tied to the keep's history, so I know quite a good deal of the legends surrounding it. Apparently, some big muckaluk from Cormier put that keep up about 600 years ago to prevent beings from other planes entering into the material plane. And, I mean, I'm no expert on the matter, but that seems to be what's happening now.
Do we know if there's a... So is it on a rift, on a portal? Do you know anything about that?
I can't help you there, miss. I've just heard the legends.
Alright. So, you say you have the beginnings of a plan.
Aye, and only the beginnings, the absolute beginnings. There are a few people in town that I trust, and could be able to help rally forces to depose Erazim before things get too bad and we lose our foothold here in the mountains. We've got Vorindir, who you've met. We've got Feridin, the guard captain, and and then there's a couple other who tend to be more unsavory types, but we seem to share a common interest at this point, so I don't know how trustworthy they are, but they might be worth talking to. There's Charlie down at Vinny's pub, excuse me.
Vinny's pub.
Vinny's pub. There's Charlie, who owns Vinny's pub, and then there's...
Who's Vinny?
You know, you'd have to ask Charlie, I don't know. And then there's Mila and Gale over at the Flame and Fury, the local forge. And they tend to associate with unsavory characters, but like I said, it's probably bad for whatever type of business they are running that this is happening right now. Now, getting in and out of town is quite hard at the moment. However, we've got the Chillbaum family farm, which is the biggest farm in the area. They might be able to raise some sort of militia. And we have the Singing Rock Sanctuary with the orcs there. They also might be able to send help if we ask politely. We've been friends for a long time.
And they owe us now anyway.
Oh, well, that's good. Right. That was Brondor's plan. Of course, that's gone well. The only matter is getting out of town, and I don't know a way for that to happen. Currently.
Alright, can you list again those locations? I got Vinny's pub, that's the only one I caught.
You got the Flame and Fury Forge and General Store. That's where Mila and Gale live.
Mm-hmm.
And then out to the east a little ways, you've got the Chillbaum family farm, and they'll be able to perhaps rally the farmers to help us. And a little further east in the mountains, we've got the Singing Rock Orc Sanctuary. Oh, and we've got the Shatterstone Quarry as well. I nearly forgot.
Shatterstone?
Shatterstone, yes. They're that's where the miners will be. It's kind of beyond hope to go get the fishermen at this point, as there's no guarantee where they'll be, but the miners might be able to come back and fight for their homes.
Alright. So, the plan thus far is to rally civilians and possibly just, riot?
Yes. Aye, roughly. The mayor's got about 50 trained soldiers along with those 4 mercenaries I told you about. So we'll need, I don't know, at least 30 experienced fighters to take them down and bring order back.
Alright.
So, you know, wherever you can get them from, any help we can get is necessary right now.
Is there a library in the area? In town, here?
I think at the Wyvern's Blood Manor, they have their own private collection. And I think the mayor has some books in his house, and there's also another collection in City Hall, but I'd stay away from either of those 2 areas right now unless it's absolutely necessary. Don't want to draw too much attention, and those are the 2 main areas in town that Erazine likes to work.
Do you know which locations the mercenaries habit?
Well, I've been kind of up here, but the people who come up this way have told me a couple of them like to hang around the pub, and the other 2 seem to have disappeared as soon as they entered town. Not sure where they've gone. But they're bound to be around somewhere.
you've been very, very helpful. And we're certainly on board to help. And we'll do what we can. But I have a hunch that a lot of the legwork is going to be on our part, and that's not a problem. Of course, I think that your duty is to stay here and keep the citizens safe.
I'm pretty sure without me praying to Lathander almost daily, we'd be lost by now anyway. I need to stay here and keep the seals safe so that people can be protected.
Yes. All right. Okay, what do you guys want to do? Should we rest?
He says, I'd recommend sleeping the night. You don't want to go out with those shades about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've been calling them. Those things, shades.
Is there anything in town that you need for the people here?
We're well provisioned. I had, thankfully, a lot of surplus food, and many of the farmers brought any extra they had with them. We should be all right for at least a fortnight.
And you say it's difficult to leave the town again.
I mean, you would have run into the guards at the gate. They won't let anyone in or out.
So once we're in...
You're in. And Vorendir has informed me he can't do too many smuggling runs. He's only willing to risk it to bring people to safety, not out.
No problem. We'll be fine.
Just creepy shadow guys, no big deal.
Is there anyone in the chapel that might be worth speaking to?
It's mostly women and children.
Okay.
So no.
Well, like it's like families that would have stayed home when their spouses went out to fish or mine, like non-combatants, non-workers. It's like.
Are these like Skyrim children where they just don't die? Because that could be useful.
I don't think you should try it.
My question then was, would it be safe to assume that none of them have actually encountered any of the shades?
You're welcome to ask around. Most of them have at least seen them. None have directly encountered them. Those that directly encountered the shades don't come back.
Alright. If that's the case, I have a feeling that I probably know more about them than the average person does.
Almost certainly, ma'am.
Okay. Well, given that I have no library to be investigating and few other resources to be gathering information from, I think I'm going to go rest.
I mean, we do have a few religious tomes here, but they're mostly about Lathander. I don't know how helpful that is.
Interesting, but not necessarily helpful.
I figured. That's why I didn't mention it earlier.
I might actually go, Atrix might just go read just for the sake of passing the time. But
Okay. You learn a little bit about Lathander. He seemed like a chill guy.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Alright, he leads you to his cell in the back where he's popped up a few extra cots, and he says, most people are sleeping out in the common area, but I figure y'all need your rest as much as possible, so feel free to sleep in my chambers for the evening. I'll be up anyway.
Oh, thank you. That's very generous, Simon.
Because I, just want to make sure things get resolved quickly and well, so
We'll do
I'll
what
help
we can.
however I can.
We'll do what we can. Well, Eli, do you have any thoughts?
Any more igloos?
Atrix and Dread are Eli's thoughts.
That's rude.
Corruption.
Absolutely.
Drain the
Excellent
swamp.
observation.
I don't know where to go with. That's like the one thing I made up. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was trying to think of something wise to say. Like, corruption is the root of evil, but that's... Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. That's why I didn't say.
Alright, so we can kind of make a plan for how we would like to... You said getting in isn't necessarily hard, right?
No, you've got a straight shot from the temple to the town. As long
Okay.
as it's daylight, you won't get harassed by shades or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so where do we want to go first? How about that?
Would the keep be a smart place to start?
I don't think so, just based on the potential danger.
Yeah.
It's probably a better idea to go to one of the other places that Simon mentioned to maybe just get some help. Maybe stock up on some provisions or tools, other things. I mean, we're mostly okay with tools and things, but...
Yeah. I have a cool sword.
Yes. But allies are probably going to be what's most important.
So we can just start, whatever the first place is that you have.
I have Vinny's Pub listed first, which might be interesting because we might encounter the mercenaries there.
I could always grab a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so you're heading to Vinny's in the morning?
Well, let's...
Ooh, day drinking.
So if we go to Vinny's first, where do we want to go after that? We can, the Flaming Fury, the Chill
Bomb. B-A-U-M, Baum, like a branch. Balm, yeah.
Okay. The Chill Bomb Farm, the Singing Rock Orc Sanctuary, which is probably going to be where we find our most likely friends.
Yes.
And Shatterstone Quarry.
I say we hit the fire after.
All right.
Yeah, those are the two that are in town, so they'll be the easiest to get to. And they can probably give you more direction for what else you should be doing.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that too much for me to say as a DM?
No, that's
Okay.
that's helpful information.
Cool.
All right, so let's go to sleep.
And then go get drunk.
At
Woo!
8 a.m.
Do you want to take Ingrid and or Hjolfmar with you, or do you want them to stay at the temple?
I don't think Ingrid's experienced enough.
Yeah, she's basically says she's just going to train more while she's there.
Yeah, and
And
she can
stay.
protect the people if something happens.
That's fair.
Or
Yeah.
at least
Same
send
with
word.
Hjolfmar.
Yeah, Hjolfmar says he wants to stay in case something gets through so he can protect people. And Ingrid says she needs more training, so she's going to hang out with Hjolfmar and get training.
I was
and
just
then
gonna
they'll
say
both,
he's probably gonna be the best.
then they'll both try to protect the people if needs be.
Mm-hmm. That works out.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about extra NPCs floating around.
Ah, thank goodness.
Aw, isn't that nice of us?
Yeah. All right.
I want to take all the people in the church with me.
And I want to know all of their names, their favorite color, and
Class level.
Well, they're all commoners. That's easy enough. All right.
Okay, we're headed to Vinny's first.
Okay, so as you head down the mountain path into town, you notice that most of the villagers whose homes you pass stare at you silently as you march into the village. The
Wait.
typical...
Did you say the villagers or the villagers' homes?
The villagers from their homes
Oh,
stare at you
okay.
silently. The typical noises you expect from small frontier towns, like, the local children playing, dogs.
Stickball.
Yeah, any type
Wheel
of,
and
like,
stick.
lively activity that you'd normally see, gone. It's completely silent and eerie as you march into the village.
It's okay, wheel and stick sucks.
You quickly
You're right.
locate
Oh,
the
that's my
buildings
favorite.
that Father Simon mentioned, Vinny's Pub and Flame and Fury, along with a clinic that's called Copper's Clinic. That seems to be the other building of note in the town square. Plus a, this was maybe not helpful right now, but a lumber co called Trunk and Stumps Lumber Co. And
Bet I could build a boat.
you quickly see Vinny's Pub. It has a large marquee that reads, Red Lobster Cult, now playing live.
What?
Well, we gotta go check that out right now.
And then outside the forge on the opposite side of the square is a red dragonborn woman wearing a blacksmith's apron and gloves. She leans against her front door chewing tobacco. Outside the pub sit two intimidating figures at one of the outdoor tables. A dark elf wearing black leather armor who quickly stabs a knife in between his fingers on the table. Seems completely focused on
the
that.
knife game.
Yeah, he's playing the knife game.
Uh-huh.
And a human man who is pale skinned but looks to be of a darker skin tone because he's completely covered in various tattoos.
Hey, those look kind of like the mercenaries Father Simon described.
Those
He-
look exactly like the mercenaries Father Simon described.
Does
What
a
a
little
coincidence!
finger wave at you as you approach
Oh lord.
and
Take
smiles,
that.
but they don't get up and the elf doesn't even look at you. He just keeps playing the knife game.
Eli's gonna kind of do it in return.
The human man smiles and chuckles, visibly.
I'm just gonna pull my hood further up, down over my face.
All right. And did you want to go to Flame and Fury first, or the pub, or one of the other two places I mentioned?
We wanted to check out Vinny's, right?
Yeah.
All right. You
To
enter
meet
the
Charlie, the owner of Vinny's.
pub. You enter Vinny's pub. It's pretty empty. There's like one or two people just like sadly nursing drinks
At 8 a.m.
at 8 a.m. and a trio of bards playing. One of them's playing a lute, one of them's playing a drum, and the other one is singing. They seem to be talking about not fearing Kalimvor, the god of death.
Technically, the Shadow Queen's the Reaper, but I get your joke.
Yeah. There's a stocky
Or
dwarf
Raven
man.
Queen.
Yeah, Raven Queen.
Yeah, I said she. Yeah.
There's a stocky dwarf man behind the bar with a long ponytail. He and a goatee.
Always the worst.
And he waves at you as you enter. He says, "Hi, welcome to Vinny's."
Are you
Oh,
Charlie?
are you Charlie?
Yeah, I'm Charlie, owner and operator since about 10 years now.
Who's Vinny?
Vinny's no one. I just like the name better.
Why don't you
Fair
call
enough.
yourself Vinny?
Yes.
Because my name's Charlie.
I like this man.
I do too, but I'm not going to order anything from him.
I mean, like, when I was talking about opening the pub, people didn't really respond well to Charlie's pub. Vinny's just has a better ring to it, so Vinny's pub.
All right. So we go up to the bar, and we're gonna be quiet when we're talking, and say, Father Simon sent us.
Ah, so you're probably looking to help those folk up at the temple there.
Yes.
Says, I would join them, but I'm afraid someone's going to loot my bar if I leave. All right, well, if you ask me, and he gets really quiet with this and looks around, I mean, I trust these people, but I don't necessarily want word getting out. Only way to get rid of the present trouble, all-out battle. I mean, we've got new guards about the town that no one knows. We've got those creepy mercenaries, and I don't know, I don't think there's any other way to get rid of them than just ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
He does like a little karate chop.
Do you know any people that would be able to help us with your plan?
Well, biggest military force in the area is going to be those orcs up at the sanctuary. They might be a little hard to get to commit to coming in because, well, while we've traded in the past, there's never been any love between our people. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship where we both kind of need each other, but no one really likes the arrangement that much. I mean, there's obviously exceptions, and the last mayor was working very hard to repair orc relations, but the current ones' policies are not friendly to them. So they might be interested in helping. I don't know, it might be tough. And I've heard a rumor that there is a small force of Zentarim soldiers in the area. And with this being kind of a smuggling hub, what with the port, they might be interested in getting it open to the public again, too.
Do you know where they hide out?
I know I've heard rumors that there's a small base in the area. Not sure where. I think Mila at the Flame and Fury knows more, though, as she's the main outfitter in the area. She would have been the one to sell him weapons.
Excellent. Thank you. One more thing, Charlie. You say that all-out combat is the solution. Are you capable?
I mean, I can hold my own in a bar fight. I've never used a real weapon before.
And do you think the typical farmer could stand in the area could stand a chance against the army?
With enough numbers, maybe. There aren't that many mercenaries, but enough that those of us left in town can't do anything about it.
When they came into town, what was their apparent objective?
Well, at first, Arizin just said he was supplementing the guard, which we were all very happy for. We only have 2 full-time guards. Everyone else is volunteer, and they tend to leave with the fishing boats and the mining. So everyone was quite excited that he'd hired a guard until we realized they were kind of keeping us caged in here and not letting us leave.
All right.
The other 2 guards who work full-time anyway, Faradin and Pyle, they might be able to help as well. I I mean, Pyle's a bit of a pansy, but Faradin's an accomplished fighter.
And they are at the gate.
Yes, they would be the ones that you talk to at the gate.
And do they ever lead? Is there ever any? Do the mercenaries technically have a post? And do Faradin and what was the other one's name?
Pyle.
Do they move?
They tend to roam about the town on patrols, usually in groups of 3 or so.
Right.
They don't bother anyone, but if they catch anyone trying to like scale the walls or something desperate like that, they'll give them a beating.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Would you guys like some drinks while you're here?
Yes.
All right, what are you drinking? I got ale, I got brandy, got wine.
Ale.
And he passes you a tankard of ale.
Do you serve food here?
Well, we are a pub. I mean, we've got rooms upstairs. We have to serve food. You want to try some of Charlie's famous fried chicken?
Sure.
All right.
No.
He,
Coward.
while you get the sense that this place is remote enough, they don't have like the best ingredients available. He does manage to whip up some nice like spicy chicken in like a yummy sauce. And he says, "Hi, well, this is the one that keeps people coming back to the pub as it is. So go ahead and give it a try. It's on the house."
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Charlie.
And it's delicious, actually. You quite like this fried chicken.
Hooray!
Charlie's a 10 out of 10 guy.
Charlie
great.
fried chicken.
Well, that's good. I like that. Maybe if I make it only a restaurant, I'll change it to that.
We were interested in going to the Flaming Furies next, which is great because it's across the street.
All right. You leave the pub.
Oh, wait. Was all of their food on the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows you're there to help, so he's happy to feed you.
Okay.
Plus, you get the sense that he's not necessarily the best businessman.
Yeah, not with the goatee and ponytail.
Yeah. You exit the pub, and the 2 mercenaries that you saw outside are gone. They're not there anymore.
Oh, that's unnerving.
Well, we are definitely being reported.
And the woman who was outside Flame and Fury is no longer outside. She seems to have gone inside.
She was cool. I mean, she's gonna be inside, but...
He touch.
There is you see Voradin and a small human guy wearing thick Coke bottle lenses entering the clinic across the street as well. And Voradin sees you guys and waves. And the other guy feebly waves, and it looks like something is broken.
Oh.
With him.
Rest in peace.
Says
Ha. Good.
broken.
Get it, because his arm's broken. Anyway.
Let's head inside.
All right. You enter Flame and Fury, and a slender, friendly-looking older elfin woman says, "Hello, welcome to Flame and Fury. Owned and operated, family-owned and operated since 1429.
What year is it?
Has Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue yet?
Who? What now?
I don't know when he sailed the ocean blue.
1492.
Thank you. I know his ships, and that's it.
Says, how can I help you?
We're here because Father Simon sent us over, hoping to maybe start the rebellion.
Huh. Well, you'll be wanting to talk to Mila. Let me go fetch. Nice to meet you. Hey, are you from out of town? I don't think I've seen you before.
Very much out of town.
Did you run into my daughter Bryn on the way in?
We did!
Is she all right?
Yes, she's fine.
Oh, thank goodness. Mila's going to be so happy.
She was one of the few who was not injured in any way. She was fine.
That's so good to hear. We were so dang worried. Let me go fetch Mila for you, and I'll tell her that Bryn's safe, and she's going to be ecstatic. I bet she can't wait to meet you all. And she goes back into the back of the
Now her I like. I trust her.
storage area. About 5 minutes later, the Dragonborn woman comes out, leans on the counter, and she says, "So I heard you rescued my daughter, huh?"
Ah, so you're the butch.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, I suppose I have to thank you for that. What do you want?
Simon sent us saying, that you might be interested in assisting in a rebellion against Azarin?
Erazine.
Erazine. I did not spell that phonetically.
Yeah, he's bad for business, all right. So, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret since you guys helped Bryn for me. I, run smuggling here for the Zentarim. Now, wouldn't just tell you that, but you did help my daughter out, so we're good. I've got some guys waiting in a fort on the south side of the valley. They could help. There's only about 5 of them, but they're very experienced fighters. It'd only be a matter of getting out of town to fetch them. Now, since I'm kind of in a managerial position, I don't know the actual routes out of town, but I know there are secret routes in and out. McCready, my guy aboard the Tipsy Kipper, he'll know better where to go to get out of here.
And would we just find him in the harbor?
Yeah.
Would you be able to fight?
I mean, it's been a while for me, but yeah,
And can we examine your wares?
certainly. And they've got basically everything on the general items table and pretty well forged weapons of every type.
Anything unique? Can I roll investigation?
Sure.
Cool. 15.
I keep forgetting you have a -1 to
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
fix that eventually.
Above the counter, mounted, is a large warhammer that has a sun emblazoned on the head of it. And she says, "That one's not for sale. That's mine."
Fair enough. Beautiful weapon, though.
She says, "I forged it myself. Cracked a few heads with it."
Nice.
The Gale comes out of the back room with cookies,
Hell
What
yeah.
kind?
chocolate chip.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll have some of those.
You all looked like you could use a snack.
Oh, thank you. You're most kind.
This is the most generous action I've seen in several years, so thank you.
Well,
Charlie just gave us free food and
Yeah.
drink.
Yes, but he frightened me.
Oh, Charlie's such a sweetheart. But no, we're happy to provide any kind of help we can, and I'm not really a fighter, so baking is kind of where I excel. And finance, but I don't think that'll be useful.
Let's misfile their taxes and set the IRS on it.
The Internal Revenue Sea Dragon.
Can I pick up some arrows?
Yeah, they have quivers too, because you can only carry 20 in a quiver.
How many quivers can I carry?
I'd let you get away with 2 for the time being.
20.
That's a 1 gold piece each.
For arrow?
For quivers.
Yeah, for a quiver full of arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, one gold piece for a quiver of 20.
That's a solid deal.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Well, you have to remember that adventuring is kind of lucrative.
Eh.
When you find treasure, it's typically better off than the average income.
Would a climber's kit be useful?
Potentially.
I'm gonna buy a climber's kit.
Yay!
How much is it?
And Mila does say, now this information I've given you, it does come at a cost, I must say. Sorry to be that guy, but
Oh no, we understand. It's important. Yes.
now, we don't know why people are being taken by the mayor. He's hardly ever at his house anymore, and we're thinking, me and a couple of my friends who I won't mention just in case you get captured and tortured, it probably won't happen, you guys will be fine. He's hardly ever at his home, so I'm thinking someone could break in there and get access to his safe, and maybe there'd be some sort of note about what he's doing, why he's doing it. Because we don't know. It's all unknowns right now.
And you want us to get that for you?
I'd appreciate it.
No
I don't
problem.
want to go breaking and entering myself in case I get in trouble with the guards.
I think we might have that covered.
Good. I mean, you look a capable sort, if you don't mind me saying, so that's
Thank you.
why I asked.
Very good at thieving.
Plus, if you're going to go out into the valley, it might be good to know why you're going.
Yes. So we need to sneak into the mayor's house and sneak out of town to find the people.
What kind of books do they have? Do they have books?
They have some blank tomes for journaling, and a couple cookbooks.
Okay.
You actually find a corner of the store that's like, you can tell is the Gale corner, because it's like all cookbooks and like
Aww.
house decorating stuff.
Can Eli buy a cookbook?
Yeah, sure.
Yay!
Book is 25.
It's written by a famous bard's wife. And it talks about how she tricks her kids into eating delicious vegetables.
Oh.
No.
Man, I need that for myself.
Trick yourself into eating vegetables.
I need that.
You cook it, you let it sit, well, you put it in the fridge, and then the next day you forgot and you put mushrooms and cauliflower in it. Boom.
Zucchini bread.
You know what's good? Banana bread. It's awful for you, but I think about it constantly.
Banana bread.
I made over winter break like a bunch of loaves of pumpkin bread with chocolate chips in it.
Those were so
It was
good.
basically like eating cake. It's very yummy.
What's the course of action, fellows?
Oh wait, I found the actual quiver. Okay, the 20 arrows is 1 gold piece. Quiver is another gold piece.
Ah, so 2 gold, Mason.
My bad. I thought they came together.
No, it's okay, baby.
I'm gonna get a bag of ball barons.
What do those do?
You throw them on the ground, and then everyone has a slippy slide time.
Like
Yep.
Home Alone.
Yep, exactly like Home Alone.
I think he actually uses ball bearings.
Yeah.
Can I make my next character Kevin McAllister? Rogue.
Yeah, you have to label him Fantasy Kevin McAllister.
Do they have Alchemist's Fire?
They don't have any out, but you could ask.
That's okay, I've got 1 vial already. I
Is
haven't
that the
used it
stuff where like you throw it and it doesn't stop burning?
Yep.
It sticks to
It's
people.
basically a fantasy Molotov cocktail.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright.
Okay.
Alright, where's you guys headed?
I think we actually probably have the most luck at Singing Rock Sanctuary, but that's outside of town, right?
We could go break into
I told you to go
Mayor's
talk
house.
to McCready at the Tipsy Kipper, and
get
he
out.
would tell you how to get out.
Do we
And
want to check in on the clinic that's right over here?
Sure.
It might be nice to have some medicine.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I can refresh my healer's kit or something. Or even just, like, talk to the people here.
Yeah.
Make sure they're allied with us versus the guard.
Alright. You want to go over there? It's just next door.
Mhm.
Alright, so you head in. There is a human man in like white healer's robes that are like absolutely covered in patches because like it looks like they're really old and they just keep ripping, so they look like more patch than original cloth now.
Oh, sir, that is terribly unhygienic.
He says, "What now?" As he's like busy trying to set the guy with the glasses arm, he looks over and says, "Oh, just a minute, please. I'm working with this young man here." And then he pops the bone back into place, and the guy
Ah!
screams. "Ah!" And he says, "You'll be better in no time, lad. Thanks for coming in to see me."
Maybe we should just use him.
Voradin, the orc captain, is there also, and he salutes you guys. Specifically, Dread.
Hello, what is your name?
Says, "I'm Dr. Copper. I'm the medicine man in this town.
Oh no.
Do a little bit of everything.
Oh, no.
You know, with small towns, you don't really have the luxury of doing a specific thing, so I gotta learn it all."
Oh no.
Can I make an insight check to see, like, how smart he actually is?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't roll very well. A 6.
Well, he seems to be a very silly man, but you don't know enough about medicine to know if he knows what he's doing or not. The guy's arm does look better now. It's not like flopping.
Dr. Copper, Wait, are you a doctor?
Yes, I went to medical school.
All right, I'm just checking. Dr. Copper.
For how long?
Long enough, young man.
Did you graduate medical school?
Of course I did. That'd be fraud if I called myself a doctor without actually being one.
Do you know Father Simon?
Aye, we're good friends.
And would you consider yourself his ally?
I mean, he cheats at poker, but outside of that, I like the guy.
All right.
This guy sounds like
Kermit
Kermit.
the Frog.
Every goddamn time.
I was just about to say that.
Being a medical professional.
Man, I thought you'd escaped that one.
Me too.
I hate puppets.
Logan has, on a few occasions, been accused of using voices that sound like Kermit the Frog.
It's not my fault. I'm so good at it.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Do you think we can trust him to talk to him about a rebellion, or do you think he might rat us out?
I don't think he's smart enough to betray us.
He's a doctor.
Well, see, that's why I'm concerned, because he might not know that it's a secret, if he is in fact actually a ditz.
So, how good of friends are you with Father Simon?
I mean, I go to his weekly meetings at his temple, because, I mean, it's really the only place to pray in town other than that other sanctuary, but they don't upkeep as well. Father Simon usually has snacks, so
Sweet.
I like going there a little bit better.
Everyone in this town just wants to make food.
Get rid of the shades and let everyone cook.
Every time something's a little above my head and needs more than surgery, I can usually call on him, and he's happy to help.
Father Simon is concerned with the rule of Erazine.
As well, I mean, business is booming for me, but I can see why he's concerned.
Oh no!
Yike.
If there were a form of a coup, could we count on your assistance with any possibly injured civilians, or else count on your secrecy?
Well, if you're looking to get the old mayor back, I support you, because I don't like the new guy very much. I didn't vote for him.
All right, excellent. Not my mayor.
Not my mayor.
All right. Well, that's what we needed to hear. So
Yeah.
that's
He
reassuring.
comes in here with all his fancy money from Waterdeep, thinks he can buy everything. Me and Trunk and Stup, the only people he doesn't own the majority of our business. Everyone else just sold right away.
Trunk and Stump is the.
They're the loggers across the street.
Yes.
Good people.
We might as well talk to them next. I mean, we're already in proximity. No point in like trying to leave the town yet when we're like a block away from all the in-town allies. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Copper. Do you guys have anything else you want?
Would you be able to supply our healers kits with some more medical equipment?
No, certainly. I got plenty lying around. The sailors, I do my business pro bono for them, and they throw a little bit of extra medicine my way. I don't think that's illegal. If it is, shoot. And once again, Vorda just nods.
Well, at least you're not a lawyer.
So can I just...
Yeah,
Go back up
just
to
put
10.
your charges back on your
Yeah.
healer's kit.
All right. I should actually look at the rules for that. I just know that there's 10 uses.
I mean, you either refilled it if that's possible, and if that's not possible, you got a new one.
Well, I was thinking of, like, for what purpose can they be used, you know?
I think it's just stabilizing people.
I'll look it up. Yep, stabilize.
Medicine kit's gonna be
Without
more of
having
the,
to do a medicine check.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
More of the general aid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I can do for you? Young man, did you take an arrow recently? He points at Eli. He's like, I noticed your sword arm there is hanging a little lower than usual. I can take a look at that if you want.
Don't think I can do better, so might as well.
Alright. He sanitizes the wound, which feels awful. Like it burns. He just dumps
just
alcohol
Purell.
straight on it. And then rebandages it with some fresh bandages. I was like, that's about all I can do for you right now. You looks like you got everything out of there on the arrow. That's the important part. But if that keeps bugging you in about a week, you come back and see me again, alright, lad?
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Is that? No problem. That's what I'm here for.
And one more thing, I don't suppose you would have access to healing potions.
Nah, I always preferred the hands-on method. You know, setting bones, delivering babies, that kind of stuff. Never been one for that fancy magic stuff.
Alright, no problem. Just wondering. Do you know if there's anyone in town who sells them?
You could maybe check at the general store. I don't know. It kind of depends on what came off the boats, you know?
No problem. Thank you. Drunken Stumps?
Trucking stumps!
Alright, you enter this building. It's unique from the other buildings in that most of them are made of stone, primarily, with, like, wood accents. This one's all wood. Just a bunch of big logs, wooden beams, that kind of thing. Definitely looks homemade, but you can tell the wood is of the highest quality.
Well, at least they're comfortable using their wares.
You enter. There is a goblin man sitting behind a desk reading a book while a large orc man chases two dogs around the store. They yip playfully, and the orc kind of as he's chasing them.
I trust him.
I don't think there's anything to mistrust about him.
The goblin says,
Oh, hello, welcome to Trunk and Stumps. I'm Stump, and that's Trunk over there. How can we help you?
What a cute coincidence.
We were just wondering if we could maybe... So it turns out that Father Simon is somewhat organizing a rebellion, and we were wondering if you might be interested in getting in on the fun?
Well, we're not really fighters. We were both slaves for a while, and we don't really like to get involved in violence as a result of that. But we fully support you if you need any wood. Isn't that right, Trunk?
and Trunk goes,
I don't care if they don't help us. I'm glad we met them. Well, thank you very much. Spread the word to those you trust.
Well, most of the people we trust implicitly are already up at the temple with Father Simon. We were thinking about cutting and running, but, we've got Rufus and Winnie to protect us, so we're not really worried about much.
They're big old wolf dogs.
Aww.
Puppies.
They're both
Eli's gonna
very
go
friendly.
pet the dogs.
Yeah.
I kind of want to pet the dog.
They sense
too.
your good intent, and they happily let you pet them.
Aw.
Hooray!
Stump says, Winnie, what did I say the second one was?
Rufus.
Rufus, Winnie, good dogs.
Good puppy.
I love dogs. Alright.
He notices the necklace that... Who's rocking the orc friend necklace?
Me.
Eli. Goes, you orc friend. Good.
Yes. Lovely to meet you.
Stump. No, Trunk. Dang it.
Eli.
He, claps you on the shoulder. It's the wounded shoulder, accidentally, so it hurts real bad, but you know he didn't mean to do that because he did not know your arm was wounded.
Eli's gonna put on a brave face.
You seem nice man, Eli.
You as well, Trunk.
Alright.
I like them. I don't want to leave.
Let's live here.
We are in good hands.
The ultimate goal.
Okay, I guess we should move along. Where do you guys want to go next?
Where...
Let me remind you of what you haven't done in town yet. McCready on the Tipsy Kipper knows the smuggler's way out of town, and you told Mila you'd break into the mayor's house and steal stuff.
Definitely should do that before we try to sneak out.
Yeah, let's go to the mayor's house.
All right. It's probably about noonish because you left at dawn. It's about half an hour walk, and then you had a little bit of business. So you're probably about noon now. So I just want you guys to be aware of what time it is because they're going to be spooky ghosts at nighttime.
Right.
So you head over to the mayor's house, and this part of town is even more deserted than the rest of it. People aren't even leaving their homes or to stare at you from their porches. It seems completely dead. If there were tumbleweeds in the area, they'd be blowing around.
Can I roll to craft tumbleweed?
It's kind of snowy.
Snow tumbleweed.
It's called the snowball.
Fair. You see a few of the black-clad city guards like meandering about, but they aren't really focused on this area, it seems, because it is pretty much abandoned. The mayor's house is fairly obvious. It's a very official looking building and about a story taller than everything else in the area. It has a wrought iron gate out front and one stained glass, like big stained glass window on the upper floor. You don't see any activity in or around it, though.
Okay, so realistically, one of us is not very good at stealthing. But
Wonder who it is.
but
Dread, is it you?
You know it's me.
if things go very bad, the one who is not very good at stealthing is most likely the best one to have with us.
Yeah,
So should we just all try to go in anyway?
I think so.
And you can lead by you can keep a room ahead or something.
Yeah.
No one
Alright.
can see us if there aren't any witnesses.
No one will notice if there's no one to notice.
All right.
We're gonna sneak on in there.
So I'm gonna propose this as our marching order as Dread, me, Eli.
Okay.
Is that alright with you guys?
Yep.
The first thing you do is you start to put your your pins in the door lock to unlock it. However, once you do that, it just kind of swings open,
Oh, this is a trap.
and inside the house, it looks super abandoned. No one's been here in a very long time. There's thick layers of dust everywhere, as well as cobwebs over pretty much every surface and wall. And there's this strange red gooey substance that is on a lot of the floors.
Can I roll perception?
Or
I'd say
arcana.
investigation
Oh, okay.
to try and figure out what it is.
17.
Okay, so it's
These dice are good to me.
Yeah, they're better.
it's basically like the same consistency as like motor oil.
Ugh.
That's the best
That's a
way
liquid.
Logan knows how to describe it. It's liquidy for the most part, but like sticks to like kind of congeals a little bit together. And it has like a little bit of give when you touch it, but when you pull your finger away, it doesn't come with you.
Ew. You touched it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to roll an arcana if that's going to be.
I
Yep.
kind of want to wash my hands.
Yeah, good luck
Don't
with that.
blame you. 13.
There's nothing magical about this slime.
Okay.
Somehow that's worse.
Yes, it really is actually.
I said it was red, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It takes about half an hour, but you find the mayor's safe in the house.
Oh.
You just split up and start looking around once you figure out that the house is abandoned, and eventually Atrix finds the safe in the basement
All right.
and gathers everyone else up. There is a lock on it. You could try to pick.
I'll try to pick it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll try again to pick it.
It's gonna be a Dex plus
Oof, a doof.
proficiency. Okay.
Nope.
Yeah,
Well-
you try to get your thieves' tools in there, and you mangle the lock up really bad with them, so it's definitely not going to be pickable anymore.
And
However-
I try to break the lock.
That's what I was just going to say. Anyone got a crowbar?
I do.
Then, yeah, you can try to pry the safe open. Eli,
Yeah, I'm just pass it over to
do
you.
an athletics check.
Oh, sweet. 13?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Cool.
So with a loud sound of like screeching metal and like a crash, the safe swings open.
Ugh,
That's exactly the sounds.
And inside there's a stack of papers, deeds to various businesses, houses, that sort of thing, and a journal.
Yoink.
Can I read the journal?
Yeah.
There's no traps in the safe, yeah?
No traps.
Cool.
For the sake of
Should've checked.
time, you flip to the end of the book, like the last entry,
Mhm.
just because that'd be the most relevant one.
Mhm.
It's dated about 3 weeks ago,
Oh.
and talks about it reads, "I'm really enjoying Frostford. The people here are very friendly and have been very receptive of my business. I think I can make a good living for myself here and hopefully start a family soon. However, curiosity is kind of getting the better of me, and despite the others' warnings, I think I'm going to check out that keep on the northeast part of town tomorrow. I'll write what I find in my next entry. And that's the last entry.
And he's only been here about a month.
He's been here 6 months.
6 months?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right. Oh, wasn't he mayor for 1 month?
Yeah, he's been a mayor for
Yeah.
about a month.
Okay.
Like, about when this journal entry is dated would be about when he became mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Just after.
Yeah.
No, like, just after this journal entry would have been when he became mayor.
Yeah. All right. So, Arazine, most likely either dead or possessed, and that's not very good.
Are
You guys
sure?
hear the front door of the house open, and a voice stammers, "Hello? Is someone in here?
Roll 2 hide
Pile.
and seek.
Pile.
Come
Yeah,
out!
yeah.
I know you're in here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Just, city watch."
Can we stealth into hiding spots?
He doesn't sound like he's moving from the front room, which is good because it means he won't find you here in the basement. However, you do need to go through the front room to get out of the house.
Of course.
So you can try to sneak past him.
My thoughts are we wait until he moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's not gonna come down to the
He
base.
says, "Look, I'm just gonna wait. Like, you guys could come out. You're not gonna be in that much trouble. I promise."
Would there be anything else of interest in the house that we should check for?
I mean, the most I can think of is maybe treasure, but that's also pretty unethical for us to take anyway.
Yeah.
I think we
Where's my note?
stealth past him.
Yep.
Oh, I know we're gonna end up in a fight. It's okay.
All right, everyone roll a stealth check. Eli, you have disadvantage with your plate now.
15.
I can never find my notebook between sessions.
13.
14.
23.
I didn't do
All right.
that
Well, the
bad.
13 and the 14 both fail.
Oh, never mind. I did bad.
The 23 does succeed, but you're brought down by your friends.
Ain't that the way it is?
He says, "Oh, hey, you were at the gate yesterday. How'd you get in here?
Magic!
That's what I was gonna say.
Magic? Huh? Well,
Like this, and I cast fire.
no.
No, I would not do that.
He says, well, if you don't mind, I got a magic trick of my own to show you." And his mouth just opens gaping wide, his face morphing into this red liquid that you've seen. And
Oh,
a
hate that.
massive red spike of this liquid shoots towards you.
I didn't
That
like
was
that
my
magic
response,
trick.
not his noise.
He loses his form and turns into like an amorphous red blob that has like limbs and other such things protruding from it. And it says, "How's that for a trick?"